Hey guys, Machines and Metal here. I just wanted to show you really quick how I like to backlap my Great States manual push reel mower. So if you own one of these machines, you know that the reel needs to be sharpened once in a while. I'm actually right in the middle of sharpening this one, and I thought I would turn the camera on and film it and describe what I'm doing, so that those of you out there that need to sharpen your Great States brand reel mowers are able to do so. So what you gotta do is first, I don't know if you know, but there's bed knife adjustment screws right there. See those two right there, and there's another two on that side right there. And basically what they do is they push on this bed knife. So there's actually a cutting edge on the front side over on this side right there all the way along, and what they do is they swing the knife up and down. So if you imagine, if you were to tighten the back bolt, it would swing the knife up at the front, and if you tighten the front bolt, it will push the knife back down at the front. What you want to do is find the sweet spot between those two pressures, so turning that one in or out and turning that one in or out until that bed knife blade that runs along the bottom there is pressing equally up against the reel on both ends. Now the best way to check this to see if it's equal is use a strip of paper, guys. I like to use magazine paper because it's nice and thin. You could use printer paper. Newspaper works good. You can actually buy paper specifically produced for this paper cut test, but this is like magazine parts catalog. It's actually an Oregon parts catalog, and you can see where I was kind of working on it there. This works great because it's nice and thin. So what you gotta do, see if that'll sit there, is you gotta put the paper in between the reel and the bed knife like that, and then you gotta turn the reel so that it snips the paper. You gotta do it on both sides, the left side and the right side. And when you've got an even cut on both sides, then your reel is true to the bed knife, and you can give it what's called a backlap. And right there, that's the machine that I've put together. It's a giant drill is all it is to do backlapping. So what you do is you remove one of your wheels, your left or right side, doesn't really matter. Make sure that your drill has a reverse. So see that switch there? Puts the drill in forward or reverse. You want to spin the reel backwards. So if your drill doesn't have forward or reverse, you're going to have to do it from the right side, or sorry, the left side of the machine when you're standing behind it. But because mine switches back and forth, it doesn't matter which side I do it from. So anyway, what you do is you take off the wheel, and then in behind down below there'll be a gear with a little ratchet pawl inside of it. Right here. Here's the gear that sits over that post that the drill is attached to, and inside's a little ratchet pawl. Make sure when you take this out that you put it back in the right way. Notice that it's got an angle cut on one end, and the same thing on the other side. It matters if you put it in that way, guys, or that way. You'll have to remember the way it came out. If when you go to put it back together and you push this machine and one wheel freewheels and the other one grabs, you know that you've got this in backwards. So you take this stuff off, guys, and then connect your backlap drill. You can buy a backlapping machine, but a drill works just fine. And then you just want to tighten up those two rear, so that one there and that one there, just a eighth of a turn, a couple degrees, just so that it's putting some pressure up on the front of that bed knife against that reel. And then what you do is you spin the reel backwards with some lapping compound. So this is basically like a liquid sandpaper, guys. This is 80 grit. It's called Pin High Mower lapping compound. And what you do is you spin the reel with the drill, and then you take a paintbrush such as this, and you actually apply the lapping compound to the reel. And what this does is it spins backwards, and it rubs the two surfaces. It rubs the face of the blades against that bed knife, and it cleans them up. It straightens them out, cleans them up, puts a nice little profile, and creates a nice little burr. And basically it gives it a sharpen. Not a grind sharpen, but a backlap sharpen. For these small homeowner machines, you get away with the backlap sharpen every, every year, maybe twice a year, and then you want to grind them every third time or fourth time or whatever you need to do. It depends on how much they use them. No one ever cleans these or puts them away, so they go dull fast because of the rust. But anyway, I'm just going to spin this up. You probably won't be able to hear me talk, which might be nice, while it's doing its thing, but I'm just going to show you real quick how I apply the backlapping compound. You can actually see it there where it's sprayed off, and then you rinse it off with water, and when you're done with it, you readjust those two so you get the proper tension between the bed knife and the reel, and then you're ready to go back to cutting your lawn. So I'm just going to flash this up, show you real quick how I apply the compound while it's spinning, and then we'll see how it cuts paper when I'm done. So I don't know if you could hear that when I applied that lapping compound, it changed the sound of the reel. It kind of made a gritty, grindy sound, and it kind of got smoother and smoother as it went. That's what you want. You want this to be super smooth, and you heard it at the end there. It sounds nice and even, like one long piece of metal rubbing against another. It doesn't make a chopping sound. So that means that this is backlapped up nicely. Now we've got a coating of that lapping compound on these blades. You can see it there. It's kind of turned into a paste. And if you feel it, ooh, we got a really nice little burr right there. So that's going to cut just beautiful. What I'm going to do next is rinse this off with some water, and I'm going to set this up on the table right there, and I'm going to show you the paper test that will show you how nicely this will snip grass. Be right back. Alright guys, so here we are back on the bench, and I got the mower turned upside down, and I just blew it off, blew dry it with my blowgun right there. And so I just want to show you what happened. This is going to be interesting holding the camera phone, but what happens is if you put this piece of paper between the bed knife and the blade and you turn the reel, I'm going to try and do this. You can see how it snips the paper nice and clean, and you want to make sure, sorry guys, this is awkward, that you get the same action. Oh, what a horrible video this is going to be. Right there, I don't know if you could hear that, but it's got a really nice snip. So you want to make sure that you can do that at both ends, at this end here and that end there, and that tells you that you've got your reel, which you can hear it. It's nice and smooth, and it sounds very even as it runs across the bed knife. So this reel is ready to go, guys. Just threw a little bit of lubricant on there. I like to use this fluid film product. It seems to work well, and it smells nice. And then yeah, put the wheel back on, put your gear, make sure your pawl is correct so that it grabs and it doesn't freewheel like that when you push it forward. Make sure that the other side works too, because sometimes the last guy to sharpen this put it in backwards and only one wheel works. And call it done. Charge your customer, have them come pick it up, and move on to the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.